Hey yo, this is the Not Dead Forgotten Furion, not that it matters, and I'm making a response to the Redshift channel, the entire channel, not just any specific video, although I did just finish watching his most recent upload. It's about 20 minutes to my bedtime. This is the lowest aggression level I'm going to have all day. Alright, today's the day I was supposed to be having my nose surgery, right? Which I've been waiting on for 16 years. And my dad refused to fix it because I supposedly did this or that to a woman, right? And then so I must be guilty because she said something, and then bam, so I was off with his head, you know, and I ain't had my nose fixed since then. Every breath reminds me that some woman can just point her finger and someone with institutional and not physical power over me will just come along and destroy me. Right, Redshift? I want to know, if nothing else, I want to know what you think of Scott M. Peck's definition of evil. Links in the description. Oh, and what I have to say about creationism and naturalism. Those are the two subjects, okay? Because I noticed that you're something of a paradoxical individual pertaining to these things, along with many of the MGTOW guys. I first created my YouTube channel in 2013. I wanted to subscribe to someone my twin brother introduced me to, also twins. Named the Tap Brothers. They do parkour. My twin brother introduced me to parkour. So I want to subscribe to them. And also Trinity International University for Dr. Philip Payne's presentation called How Complementarian is the Bible. Energy Arts channel for their Bagua. See my liked playlist and my playlist Musical Self-Expression for details. But one channel stuck out among them. That channel was a MGTOW channel by the pseudonym Barbar. I was wrong about a lot of you MGTOW guys. During my lifetime, the men that have thrown me under the bus for nothing, betrayed me after I've risked my life to protect them, spread rumors about me, acted superior while stinking of fear, project their strength instead of attaining it, act and need to be correct about everything, desire pleasure and ease and grandeur above all. Those are the men who've made my life more difficult than it had to be. Whereas the women, aside from the false accusations, would pretty much ruin my life. And the desire for me in the unqualified sense, see my very first two videos, or Genesis 3:16. Desire in the unqualified sense. After all, like desire for something without moderation, whether money, food, control, or whatever, can be unhealthy, as in the 7 deadly sins. As I was saying, you MGTOW men have taught me very much. Why questions in philosophy and science, or anywhere really, I believe, are the most difficult kind of questions to answer. I wonder why then you MGTOW aren't like the rest. Why do you MGTOW men have what do you MGTOW men that other men have that other men don't? Even MRAs, pickup artists, and patriarchal religious leaders all lack.
Outstanding work, boys. Outstanding.
I understand that you are a naturalist, Mr. Redshift, like so many others that I've called mama's boys, men that I saw as those who have betrayed me in the past. Some MGTOW have a fiance or a girlfriend, some were raised by their mother or grandmother, others are fat alcoholic Einsteins, and yet still others had parents that loved them and that have lived a life of ease and safety. You know who you are. At first, I thought that men who had neglected to exercise in their youth, or who were raised by women or effeminate men, would invariably become amoral, weak, bro-code lacking, or honorless, poor excuses for men, the likes of which gave women the right to vote without registering for selective service, gave them the reparations for the Democrat Party's Jim Crow laws, which are called affirmative action, and who listen and believe rather than investigate on both sides, because vagina. However, I was wrong, and MGTOW are a living testament to that fact. The following pertains to the aforementioned question of naturalism. In philosophy, naturalism is the idea or belief that only the natural, as opposed to supernatural or spiritual laws and forces, operate in the world. Adherents of naturalism assert that natural laws are the rules that govern the structure and behavior of the natural universe, that the changing universe at every stage is a product of these laws. Naturalism can be intuitively separated into ontological and methodological components. Ontological refers to the philosophy or the philosophical study of nature of reality. Some philosophers equate naturalism with materialism. For example, philosopher Paul Kurtz argues that nature is best accounted for by reference to material principles. These principles include mass, energy, and other physical and chemical properties accepted by the scientific community. Further, this sense of naturalism holds that spirits, deities, and ghosts are not real and that there is no purpose in nature. Such an absolute belief in naturalism is commonly referred to as metaphysical naturalism. According to naturalism in working methods as a current paradigm, without the unfounded consideration of naturalism as an absolute truth with philosophical entailment, is called methodological naturalism. The subject matter here is a philosophy of acquiring knowledge based on an assumed paradigm. With the exception of pantheists who believe that nature and God is one and the same, theists challenge the idea that nature contains all of reality. According to some theists, natural laws may be viewed as so-called secondary causes of God. The aforementioned was from the Wikipedia entry for philosophical naturalism. As I've most likely covered my theist and your atheist views of naturalism, I'll go ahead and leave it at that for now. However, on what premises do you found your beliefs in atheism? The scientific method may not prove the non-existence of God, who is called Jehovah or Yahweh, as in proving a negative or evidence of an absence pertaining to the God question. Furthermore, Neanderthal DNA may be animal and human DNA mixed with, or God may have combined animal genes together to make humans, or yet still, Adam and Eve may have been Neanderthals themselves. Additionally, the following are a reading of Genesis chapter 1 shows that the universe was around for eons, or may have been around for eons, before that which was on the earth was created. As it shows that the waters and so forth were already there whenever, God said, "Let there be light." So it's like, "Let there be light," and then some time, I guess, passed, and then there were waters, and more time passed, and then it was the first day. So if you look at Genesis 1, link in the description, you'll see what I mean there. So it disproves a lot of people's strawman arguments against Christianity. And since God's, under the Christian paradigm, the Bible says that God created all things according to his own pleasure, so that gives a purpose, if arbitrary, to the universe. Now, speaking of which, Mr. Redshift, I liked your video, The Infinite Light of Nothingness, and the one about hate. I agreed with both of them so fully that that I'll remember them later. If you've seen, I'd encourage you to go see my video, Rage Quit and My Revenge. In short, I was thinking of, and still am to a certain degree, of just lashing out and killing myself, as I figured out that the Catholic thing where if you kill yourself, you'll go to hell, that's actually wrong. It's unbiblical. And so what I'm doing is waiting by the phone to reschedule my nose appointment, hoping that guy's going to call me like tomorrow, talking about I got my car fixed. And so that's about it for that. All right. And let's see. Okay, so I was talking to the guy who was supposed to be giving me the ride to the place, and he was basically saying I need Jesus more than I need, if you will, more than I need revenge or my nose fixed or any of that. But I'm still on the edge of rage mode. That's why I liked your hatred video, because it kind of rang with me. And your most recent video, like I said, covered something of evil. But I do want you to go check out Genesis 1 and Scott Peck's definition of evil, okay? Because as I said in the outset, you're kind of a paradoxical guy. Let's see, what else? Alright, yeah, so he goes over the his definition of evil, which I'm not going to read here. I want to, but I don't have time for it. I'll go ahead and ask, though, do you think evil people, are there such thing as evil people? Is it just their actions, or is it neither, or is it both? I'll come right out and say that I'm an evil person, okay? Just to be safe. But that also means that there's a hope that I can change. And let's see. Okay, well, also I'm going to leave Ecclesiastes 7, 5 through 9, which is also kind of lengthy. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I can go ahead and bang it out real quick. It is better to hear the rebuke of a wise man than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under the pot is the laughter of a fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rests in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause of that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. As for me, I don't want to be rage prone, but like Mr. Hulk said, that's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry. Now, does that make me a wise man or a fool? I'm not really sure. But I do know that self-worshipping atheists I have a riddle for you, okay? I am a self-worshipping atheist like the Mama's Boys Friedrich Nietzsche and Stephen Hawking, who claimed that the universe has a beginning. And yet I want to keep my morals, so I won't go full Machiavellian for some reason. Furthermore, my parents loved me and I was well sheltered in my youth. I'm low on the sexual dimorphism scale and have testosterone levels closer to 240 than 1,200 nanograms per deciliter. In spite of living in a virtual, if not literal, socialist matriarchy, and all the aforementioned factors, like the men called MGTOW and strong Christian patriarchs alike, I still don't engage in subservience to women. Again, for some reason. What or who am I?
I welcome you to the third and final of the 2016 presidential debates between Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Donald J. Trump. Secretary Clinton, Mr. Trump, welcome. Let's get right to it.
I would like to say to everyone watching, he applauds people who are pushing and punching. I've had the great honor of traveling the world. Donald was thinking about a young girl. Donald thinks belittling women makes him billions of dollars. America is great because America is good.
We're getting the drugs, they're getting the cash. We're getting the drugs, take a look at the cash. Bundles of cash as big as this stage. They paid them $1,500. We're getting the drugs, they're getting the cash. We're getting the drugs, take a look at the cash. Bundles of cash as big as this stage. 1.7 billion in cash. They want to build a wall. We need the wall. The Border Patrol, they all want the wall. We stop the drugs. We shore up the border. They all want the wall. But we need law and order. She's the one that caused the violence.